fuck is going on? It's your boy Leekautorepair here. Got a fucking video for y'all to fuck today. So last time I talked to y'all, I think it was vlog number 9, and I said in the John that I was gonna post a video that night. But look, I've been busy as shit at this fucking job. Just a shitload of cars I be working on. I be doing like 10-hour shifts every day. That's what's required to work there, 10-hour shifts. So it's just like it's crazy, like the amount of work I do, and I was able to get a good amount of jobs for y'all. So I got like a tie rod job, I got a fucking starter job, I got I think a thermostat job, and there's another fucking job, valve cover gasket. There's a couple other more. I got plenty more when I get back to work on Monday. I think I'm gonna show you guys how to replace the axle on a fucking 074 Fusion. Thinking about doing that. I got like a lot of shit for y'all pretty much. So I've been trying to get everything recorded so that way I can do my editing and shit. And yeah, I'm making progress pretty much. So that's why there's a gap between my last vlog and why I didn't post the last fucking video. I said I was gonna fucking post. So we gonna jump straight into it. So let me click the file. This is a 2005 Buick LaCrosse, and pretty much in this John, I'm gonna be replacing the inner and outer tie rod. So for the steering rack, and let me begin. Before I let me rewind this back. Before I start, be sure to like this video. Got questions, comments, concerns, whatever. Problems with your fucking car. Somebody about to rip you off. You need to know, like, suggestions, recommendations, or whatever. Questions. Well, what I do? How much would I charge or whatever? Leave it in the comments. Let me the fuck know. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. I want to tell you right now. I'm gonna probably tell you like fucking 4 times in this fucking video. Subscribe to my fucking YouTube channel. Now we're gonna begin this shit. So let me hit play. Alright, so right now what I'm doing is pretty much I'm shaking the right front wheel. There is movement. If you shake from 9 to like 3 o'clock in that position, you'll feel like something loose. And as you can see, that's the outer tie rod that's on the knuckle, and there's movement right there. So I'm just verifying everything for you guys. Alright, so let me begin. So I'm taking off the center cap for the covers the lug nuts on the rim itself. And that is with a, I use an impact gun, 19 millimeter. That's the size of the socket to get the lug nut off. Alright. So mind you, all the other cars in the background and everything, I work in a big ass shop. So it looked real spacious in there. It looks like a fucking factory or production team type setup shit they got there. So I got like 30 lifts, but got the right front wheel off. Now I sped everything up. So I'm using penetrated oil. You can use PB Blaster, WD-40, whichever suits you. Use that, and I lubed up everything. And I got a wrench. That was a 7/8 I used to loosen the jam nut on the inner tie rod. And right now I grabbed a 17 millimeter socket, and I'm unbolting the tie rod. But I ran into a problem. Now the tie rod, there's the stud for it, the little ball inside of it. It may spins or get seized because it gets rusted in between the threads, and through time it freezes up. You can't even get it to fucking buds. So now I'm going to use a little trick I got using vice grips and to lock it in place, the stud itself, and see if I can get that nut to come out. But it seems to be really like fucking jammed up in there. Whereas I'm trying a second time, it's not working. So I'm rotating in that fucking boot cover and trying to get back on the stud itself. And the stud's like a concave long fucking stud. At the other end is greased inside of a housing, and the other end is just like a stud itself. So that's what that is, but I call it a stud. And it's not working. It's still spinning no matter how tight I get the vice grip, and it's still not coming off. And mind you, I said that was a 17 millimeter nut. So now I'm getting pissed off, going in my box. I'm grabbing my circular cutter, air cutter, and I'm gonna cut it off. Sometimes, especially I'm on flat rate, I ain't got time to be sitting up there trying to fucking, hold it in place and take the shit the fuck off. Like, listen, I only get paid like probably like 1 hour to do this. I ain't about to waste my time doing this like shit the long way. So I got a fucking cutter and I cut the shit the fuck off. So right now I'm cutting that long ass fucking stud off, and I'm not gonna be using the fucking part again. So why the fuck should you care about how you take it off? I sure as hell don't. So I'm cutting it off. By the way, don't you see the sparks and shit flying everywhere? This very dangerous too. If you don't know what you're doing, you can cut your fucking fingers off. So whichever method works for you. Me, I'm cutting it the fuck off because I'm on flat rate. I ain't got time for that shit. So I'm all like, and it didn't even take me long to fucking cut it off. So like I said, I won't be using a part again. I won't be using the inner tie rod, and I won't be using the outer tie rod anymore. So I'm cutting that shit the fuck off. So I got it off. Now just got to get that stud because it's like it's concave, so it's like shaped to go in one way. So you just got to cut the top piece off, and then I'm gonna cut the bottom part, which I'm probably not gonna show in this edit right here. Yep, rotating around, get it off so I can have space to get the nut off at the bottom. Cut that off like I said. Yep. So whenever I was cutting at it for like a couple minutes though, maybe like 4 minutes. Cause you gotta be careful not to cut the knuckle and shit, especially when you're dealing with suspension parts that ain't got nothing to do with you replacing. So right now I'm backing off the outer tie rod, and what I'm doing is twisting it a certain way. Whereas every time I do a full rotation, I count it as I got a number. See that 13 right there? I rotated it 13 times by hand, so that way I got a memory of when I put the I'll explain in a little bit, but just follow that. So right now I'm getting the dust boot off. As you can see, that clamping is pain in the ass back there to get it off. So I use like I always use a long pry bar and a hammer just to tap it off, just to break it, because it's locked in place. Because you won't be able to reach it back there with anything. You ain't got no run back there. So then I'm taking off this little clamp on the inner tie rod, the boot in front of it. And sometimes you got to dig a screwdriver in there just to pry it off correctly. Just to get space so that way it can it's in a certain position. You got to get it off. You get what I'm saying pretty much. So trying to rotate it off. Mind you, I don't know if it's my fucking vice grips, but that shit it wasn't working that day. So I was like, fuck that. I'm just cutting shit the fuck off. So I got the cutter again, and like I said, I ain't using that shit again. So I'm cutting it the fuck off. You want to fucking spin? Give me a hard time cutting the shit the fuck off. So that's what I'm doing. So cutting it. Like I said, you might not had this problem. I had this problem. That's the clamp I was telling you about. And I'm just fixing the boot because sometimes it get all crushed in. And this is a little green plastic cover that goes around the where you put the tool at for the inner tie rod tool. Yeah, you can just back that off by tapping it with like a pry bar and a hammer and tap it back off. It's just a cover for it. You could discard it if you want. You don't have to use it. And I got my inner tie rod tool. And make sure you get the right key for it. Find the right one that goes in place. I forget the size for it. I should have noted that down for you. But I got my inner tie rod tool in. And, yep. And just going to back that off. And taking the inner tie rod off is just like backing off a bolt. Like unscrewing. Like you just going the other way. Just taking it off. Like a regular screw. That's all it is. It's just that it's long. And you need something with like distance and a special like locking tool to get it off. Just the way of the setup and how it is in the steering rack. So if you don't have this special tool, you can always I've used plenty of times a big ass fucking channel lock or a big ass fucking vice grip, and you will be able to get that shit to budge, because it's probably not locked in place with like a lot of torque, like maybe like 100. I doubt if it's 100 foot-pounds. It's probably like 70 or 80. I doubt it. Maybe 50 or 60, but it's not. It doesn't take much to get that to tighten, because over tighten it, you could fuck that up, and then you gotta replace the fucking rack. Because what you gonna do? Drill a fucking inner tie rod? But you gonna drill that out, right? So backing it off with the tool. And this tool is real simple. Just find the correct size, the correct keys, multiple keys. Just keep trying until it fits. As soon as it fits, all you gotta do is put the key on first, the tool in where, put the tie rod tool, make sure it goes inside of the tool, and then lock the tool in place with the key, and then rotate it with a 1/2 inch breaker bar or a socket. So right now I'm showing you guys how I'm just using the tool. I inserted the key, and as you can see, you can just rotate. There's a little tab on there. You can just rotate it around and lock it in place once the tie rod is in. So that's how you use it. So you might got to go back in this video just to get a quick understanding of how I did it. So I know I'm talking too fast, but I forgot how fast I sped this part of the video up. So I got my new shit. I got my my fucking my outer tie rod, and I came with like a little bleeder screw that you can use to pump grease in, and new jam nut. And then your inner tie rod may come with the new jam nut. Either way, you only need one, so don't use the old one, because I had to cut it off, right? So why would you use that again? So I'm inserting a new one. Like I said, it just screws in like a regular screw. So I'm threading it in, and now I'll put my key back in place, and grabbing the tool. And I need something to drink. I'm a little, what's the correct word? Parched. Right. Yeah, I was really parched. What the fuck am I doing? What's going on? It's like, okay, I'm getting my fucking tool. As you can see, I left the cover, that green little fucking cover. I left that on because I'm gonna use it again. Sometimes it don't fit, depending on these like aftermarket tie rods. And the tie rods, they don't fit around. Like I said, you can just rip it off, cut it off, take it off, whatever. I'm going to use it again just because I don't like to be an overachiever. So as you can see how I lock the tool in place. So that's how you would use the tool. It's better showing than I can explain it, as always, when fixing cars. So at least I can do is commentate for y'all, just to walk y'all through. So right now I'm tightening it. Once it stops, I just give it like a little bit more than a 1/4 inch turn, like nudge it a little bit. I don't want to fuck it up. So I got the inner boot, and I got a zip tie on it. Make sure you get like a thick, not a bitch ass zip tie. Get like a nice, strong ass, durable zip tie. One that you could probably like handcuff someone like the cops use. Not exactly like that, but you get my fucking drift. You need something that can last long. And get that in place. Make sure you put it on a boot, and then put it on. And so that way all you gotta do is tighten it and then cut it. So put my clamp back on, a small one that goes in the front, and it goes in a certain place. You'll see the grooves that's on the shaft itself of the inner tie rod, so you'll know where to put the boot at. And put your jam nut on. And remember, I took it off, I rotated it 13 times, full rotation 13 times. That's how many times I backed it off, and I'm going to put it on that back the same way. That way my steering won't be off too far. Now I'm tightening in it, and what I'm about to do next, well, I got my cotter pin in. Make sure that's tightened down correctly. Always put your cotter pin in, and that's what I'm doing right now. And it goes, it's like a castle nut, and it goes through a hole that's in the stud of the outer tie rod. And I'm greasing. I'll put my bleeder screw in, and I got a grease gun. And this grease gun is cheap. You can buy it from the store for like 20 bucks. And then you get your grease, and then all you got is some of these outer tie rods come preloaded with grease. Some of them don't. This one didn't, so I had to load it up with grease. That wasn't a problem. Took me like a second, as you can see. And now I'm tightening up the jam nut. And make sure you I know I'm probably done with this fucking video probably after I fucking tighten it, because I don't see me doing anything else, because I apparently fucking did the whole fucking job. Because it's probably, let me check right now. Yeah, it's got 1 second left. So anyway, when you use this term, reputable shop, whatever, you can find something similar like that give good prices. The dealership, when I was at the Chevy dealership, in a Nissan dealership, they charge like fucking $80 for $80 to $100 to an alignment, which is pretty fair because you get a four-wheel alignment, which means they adjust the rear of the car and the front, so they adjust all four wheels. Some cars you just do a tow go in the front because you can't adjust the rear, isn't like adjustable on certain cars, so it's like half and half. But either way, go get a fucking alignment. So that's that. I'm done running my fucking mouth. It's Leekautorepair. I'm getting the fuck out this. Nah, I'm not getting the fuck out of here. I got another fucking video. I don't know if you can see my laptop on the fucking side. You probably can't, but I got another video fucking rendering. Let me turn the camera around. You can see another video. It's caching right now. What's that? I don't even know how to say that word. Is it caching or caching? Whatever. That's what the fuck is doing. And then I can begin my upload because that makes the process a lot faster and everything won't be all like fucking lagging and shit. And I got about to commentate on another fucking video. What video was this? Oh, the starter video. That's what I'm gonna do. So it's gonna be a good Sunday for me and y'all. So be sure to like,